Hello, and welcome back to another advanced level MLA Style Citation video. We're focusing in this video on quotes that end in a question mark or an exclamation point, which happens quite frequently. Yeah? So what do you do when those occur in the text that you would like to use as evidence in your piece of writing? So first of all, if a quote ends in a question mark or exclamation point, you leave it inside the quotation marks. You still add a period after the parenthetical, again, to signal that you are done with that particular quote. So let me show you, for example, a quote that ends in a question mark. So this is from, again, The Giver by Lois Lowry, which I'm teaching right now. Jonah says, "What if they were allowed to choose their own mate and chose wrong?" So if you see here, I made them both red, which was a little bit silly. I could have just made the last one red. But I keep the question mark inside the quote because otherwise, if I were to move it, like I move a period to the outside of the quote, the quotation, it would be weird because I would say wrong. My brain would say, oh, that's the end of a sentence. It's not a question. I would say, and chose wrong. And then I would say Lowry 124. And then I would see the question mark. I'd think, oh, it was a question. Oops. And I'd have to reread and read it correctly in my mind. So we want to keep this question mark here so that readers correctly read your quote in their mind. Okay? And again, we include the author's last name and the page number in a parenthetical followed by a period. What if a quote ends in an exclamation point? Jonas thought, if only he had time to receive more warmth from the giver before he escaped. Exclamation point, quotation mark, Lowry 222, period. So, again, I had an exclamation point at the end. In the original sentence, there was an exclamation point. That was what was in there on page 222. And I leave it inside the quotation marks so that when someone's reading my quote, they know how to read it in their mind. Then I follow that up with the parenthetical, the author's last name and page number, followed by a period. Again, the period is there to tell the reader that the quote that you were providing as evidence is done, and now you're moving on to your next sentence, okay? If there had been a period in these quotes, just as a review, if a period comes at the end of your quote, you move it to the outside of the parentheses, okay? I know, it's a weird small rule. It trips people up. They doubt themselves. They forget it. It's just the rule, okay? It's the pattern we follow. Why do we spell laugh, L-A-U-G-H? Again, there are some weird things in our life in the English language. It's all right. So this is a quick video about what to do if the quote that you are choosing has a question mark or an exclamation point. Thank you.